Welcome into the Locker Room presented by Ted's Floors and Beyond. I'm your host, Namath Pitts. Make sure to like and follow our East Alabama Now page so you don't miss the Locker Room. We're here every weeknight, Monday through Friday at 5 p.m. A little bit of false advertisement, though, because we are off tomorrow for Christmas, which means we will be back next Wednesday with more wrestling action. But that's what you hear. We're talking East Alabama wrestling today, and we're going to be previewing the Ohatchee Indians. We'll be talking with Coach Chris Findley. We'll be talking with two Ohatchee wrestlers. So we have got a great show in store for you guys to open up this, to finish the week, I should say, for us as we approach Christmas. Now, the Ohatchee Indians. Let's talk about the Indians because this is a team that not long ago was wrestling in the Duels Championship. This is a team that had 4 state qualifiers a year ago with Matt King. Well, what did Matt King end up doing at the 152-pound weight class, you ask? Well, he would do what everybody dreams and aspires to do. He would win a state championship. But he wasn't the only person that Ohatchee had that made the state championship. Briley Carter made the state tournament. He made the state finals at 106. He would fall short. He would get second place. But still, Briley Carter was one of those guys for Ohatchee. Another guy was Freer. Was Freer for Ohatchee. Freer made it to the state tournament. He wouldn't place at the state tournament. He would fall short in the consolation semifinals, but Cody Freer was a good person for them. And then Jackson, I'm going to say this wrong, Tualasenga. I said that wrong. But either way, Jackson was a really good wrestler for them as well at 120. He ended up placing at state. So Ohatchee took 4 guys to the state tournament a year ago, but they lost 2 of those to graduation. They lost state champion Matt King. They lost Cody Freer. They did bring back Briley Carter and Jackson Tualasenga, but here's the problem. Jacksonville, I don't know where that came from. Ohatchee has not been healthy this year. This is a team that if you look at track wrestling and have seen how they've competed this season, something's looked wrong. Whether it's only 6 guys at a duel, whether it's only 6 guys at a tournament, whatever it may be, Ohatchee has suffered from sickness. Whether it's the flu, stomach virus, it's went rampage. Then it was ringworm at the beginning of the season. Ringworm went from one guy to another, and next thing you know, your whole team has ringworm. And then it's been injuries. Guys like Briley Carter, who's a state runner-up, he got hit with the injury bug. So Ohatchee has not been even close to 50% to start the season. So the Ohatchee team you've seen is not the team you'll see after Christmas. Matter of fact, Ohatchee's coming off wrestling at Walter Welborn 2 days ago, where it's the probably closest to 75% this team has been all season long. They had a couple guys in the lineup, and all of a sudden they beat Welborn 48-24. We saw Toby Easterwood at 106, Phoenix Tualasenga at 113. Again, Alex Brame at 126, Jackson Tualasenga, who is again right there at 132. And I apologize because I know I'm pronouncing his name wrong. We're going to get him to explain it to us in a little bit. Briley Carter made his return this week when he wrestled 138. Braden Mann at 144. We've seen Deacon Engel. He came out at 175. Gus Hunter came out at 190. How about Jesse Baswell at 215? That's right. Former basketball player, former running back for Ohatchee, who's now wrestling for them at the 215-pound weight class. He's a freak of an athlete. And then they're missing Kiker to injury, so Kiker's going to be out for a while. So Coach Findley, we're going to talk with him a little bit about the health of this team, but he believes that this team's probably not even going to get close to 100% until they get to sectionals. So we're not even going to see a full glimpse of this team until the end of the season when it matters. But Ohatchee's really suffered again from sickness, ringworm, injuries. It's been a lot of different things that have hurt this Ohatchee Indians team, who's just trying to get the pieces together fully. But again, they're starting to get there. They're getting a little over 50% now. And so let's just go ahead and take a break. And when we come back, it'll be more Ohatchee, less of me. We're going to talk with the head coach of the Ohatchee Indians, Chris Findley. Don't go away. You're watching The Locker Room presented by Ted's Floors and Beyond.
Ted's Floors and Beyond is excited to introduce our all-new outdoor living collection. Have you ever dreamed of elevating or even creating an outdoor living space, whether it be for grilling, lounging, playing, entertaining, or just winding down? Our quality tile and stone, combined with our expert craftsmanship, will no doubt create unforgettable outdoor moments with family and friends. while also enhancing the beauty and value of your home. Call us today.
For metal buildings in Alabama and the Southeast, Waldrop Manufacturing is your one-stop source. A Waldrop metal building provides the coverage and protection your investments need. They specialize in carports, RV covers, portable buildings, and storage buildings. Stop paying rent for storage. With Waldrop's price per foot, you can actually save money by buying straight from the manufacturer. Waldrop buildings are guaranteed because Waldrop manufactures buildings with U.S. steel right here in Calhoun County. Waldrop Manufacturing, serving the entire Southeast. Give them a call today. For over 60 years, Oxford Lumber has been servicing our area, and our customer service has always been our main focus. Our customer service is what sets us apart from anyone else. From the moment you enter, our highly trained staff will treat you like family.
To enthusiastically provide total customer satisfaction within a positive and self-fulfilling employee relations environment. Visit us at any of our 4 locations or at oxfordlumber.com.
Since 1993, WM Grocery has been a major part of our local community. WM offers the very best in fresh produce and an outstanding meat department. WM also has many local products not found anywhere else and fresh sushi every day. If you need an event catered, come see Mrs. K at any WM store. Curbside pickup is also available for your online grocery orders. Be sure to download the WM app for all the deals of the week and shopper rewards. Go check them out today at any of their locations.
We take pride in our community and appreciate your business.
Ted's Floors & Beyond brings you the locker room each and every day. Ted's Floors & Beyond has all your flooring needs, whether it's hardwood, laminate, carpet, tile, luxury vinyl. They have it for you right there at Ted's. You can go by their showroom there in Anniston and you can pick out what you like, want, and need, and they can do that there at Ted's. Also, they've got their partnership with Welborn Cabinet and will offer you a complete kitchen or bath makeover. That includes cabinets, countertops, flooring, backsplashes, tile showers. They can get it done there at Ted's Floors & Beyond. And now they offer you work on your outdoor space, whether it's an outdoor kitchen, patio, or living space. They have specially made outdoor tiles and stones that can enhance your outdoor experience. Go by and see them today at their showroom in Anniston on Highway 431, right before you get to Sachs Elementary School, or visit them online at shopteds.com. That is shopteds.com. Ted's Floors & Beyond brings you the locker room. The locker roll rolls on. We are at Ohatchee High School as we preview wrestling in East Alabama. We are now joined by the head coach of the Ohatchee wrestling program, Coach Chris Findley, who is also the head coach of the football team. Coach, Christmas time has now come and go. We're getting ready to start the second half of the season. Just kind of talk about your team up to this point.
Right. Me and you have talked a few times about the disappointment so far in the season, but we understand what it is. We've had guys injured, guys sick, this and that, whatever it is, but. We understand that we're probably going to be a second half team, and this is not new, to us. We've done that a couple of times where, we got to get guys to wait, we got to get guys over injuries, we got guys that still got, nicks and bumps and bruises from football season and whatnot. So, we're not new to being a second half team, and this looks like that's what we're going to have to be again this year.
Coach, you're not afraid to say, hey, I don't have much of a wrestling background. You're a head football coach that kind of got asked to do wrestling, and so obviously. With that, you want someone that can help your program, that can help with some areas that maybe aren't your strength, right. And you have Joe Lathers who does that. So why don't you just talk a little bit about Joe and just kind of how he helps you guys out?
Joe's incredible. He's an incredible guy, an incredible wrestling coach. I know he was an incredible wrestler at Weaver High School back in his day in high school. I think a multiple-time state champion individually as well as team, back in those days of Weaver wrestling, but and we work great together. He's such a good guy. He's such a positive guy, and especially with these kids, he really relates to these kids super well. And it's been super easy to get kids to come out, and I think we really work well in that respect. As far as reviving this program from when he was here before, he was here as an assistant for Matt Sweatman years ago when they had some success here. But with him out here coaching, it's really easy to talk kids into coming out and wrestling and especially young and developing all the way through. So, I can't say enough about what he's done for me and for this program. And, if it wasn't for him, I probably wouldn't be doing this. He's one that came to me about, however many years ago, 5-6 years ago, about doing this, about him coming back and helping again. And he asked if I would, be willing to do it with him. And so, we've had a really good time with it too. So, we have a good time together, and, we've had some success. So it's been good. It's been fun.
Coach, you won County Coach of the Year a couple of years ago, and the first thing you did was take the plaque to him. Just kind of talk about that. What went into that?
Well, the first thing I did was try to find him, and I think he was hiding out somewhere. I was trying to get him to come take the plaque, but that award's his. You know, that is what it is. I mean, me and you have talked about my lack of experience, you know, coaching wrestling. I've run a weight room, right? I know how to do conditioning, and you know, I know you talk to my players, and that's what they tell you. So if Coach Lathers can't be here for a day, it's going to be a pretty heavy conditioning day because I know how to do those types of things. But coming in, I had no wrestling background at all. You know, I didn't know a lot of the rules. I didn't know a lot of the point system. You know, none of that kind of stuff. I picked it up real quick as we were going and talking to him, and he guided me along. But you know, on a day-to-day basis, the technique stuff on a match-to-match basis, you know, sitting on the edge of the mat, like he's the guy that's talking. He's the guy that sees everything and knows what our guys need to be doing. So you know, really that award is his. He don't want to take it, and he didn't want to take it that day. But you know, that's who that belongs to, and I'm really appreciative of him.
Well, Coach, give yourself some credit, too, for the commitment you've given this program, just the commitment you do to be a football coach, also to be a head wrestling coach. There's, you know, Pleasant Valley is very, very similar. Nick's is a head coach in football, head coach in wrestling. And I believe that wrestling can help football players. I believe it can help them in a lot of ways. So as a head football coach, talk about how you've seen just getting into this sport and being a part of it, how you've seen how it can help your guys when it comes to being on a football field.
And there's a lot of things that cross over, especially with the physicality side of it and being able to use your body and knowing leverage and use your feet, move your feet, you know, not be too heavy on your feet. There's a lot of things that really cross over. You see it in college football. You see it in professional football. A lot of these guys that are really good athletes were really good wrestlers in high school. So to me, it's helped our guys a lot. And I try to talk, especially our linemen. I try to talk a lot of our linemen into coming out and doing it. I know you talked to Jackson and Briley earlier. Those are my two starting cornerbacks, you know, coming back from last year. So I think it just crosses really well, you know, football and wrestling, and I think a lot of the coaches in the county would agree.
Coach, when you look at, obviously, Matt King's a guy that y'all lost to graduation. Each year you lose guys to graduation. Was he the only senior you lost? Who else did you lose to graduation? Talk about the guys that you didn't get back this year.
There were two. There were Matt King and Cody Freer. Matt won the 152-pound weight class state championship last year, and Cody finished 6th in 182 last year. So those are two guys that were real point scorers for us all year long. You know, Matt won a few tournaments, you know, through the year, and I know Cody finished runner-up at a few tournaments, but you know, that's a lot of points to lose in 1 year, and that's coming off of losing. We have 4 or 5 of them the year before, and a lot of those were in-state championship matches. Troy Galloway was one, Brock Thrash was one, Malachi Goebel was one, Case and Bramlett was one. Like we had a crew there, guys that were really good seniors. So over these past 2 years, we've lost a whole lot of point scorers. This year, we've got our lone senior James Howard, he's been our program since me and Coach Lather started coaching it. So we'll bring back a whole lot next year too.
Coach, you kind of mentioned a guy just now, but obviously Briley Carter's a guy that made the state finals a year ago at 106. I'm going to say this name wrong, even though he's told me 100 times. Jackson Tuilasenga. I probably said it wrong. I don't know, but you got him back, who's been good for you guys. But you have not been 100%. I mean, ringworm, health, you know, just injury, sickness, so many different things. So people have not even really seen you guys yet, in my opinion. Talk about the guys that you got this year.
That's the thing is we've had the flus hit us here recently too, and it's just we've gone to we went to the Weaver tournament with 6 wrestlers. You know, that's something that I don't know the last time we went to a tournament with only 6 wrestlers before. So yeah, we'll get a lot of our guys back. We've got a lot of them back today, and that's what we pulled out of the Ramburn tournament here recently. We went to a duel with Ramburn and took 4 guys, and you know, I talked to him there and said, you know, Coach, it's not really worth it to bring 4 guys to a tournament. So we sat that out, and I gave them off that Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then we've come back in today. We've got a whole lot of these guys back. So you know, we're looking to make a run down the stretch with those guys. And like I said, we've done that before. I think 2 years ago, the runner-up year, we had, you know, Matthew King had suffered a facial fracture. Took him a while to get back. Malachi Goebel was trying to hydrate lower, so it took him a while to finally get to wrestle. We had a couple of others, but there was a similar situation. Brock Thrash was working to get eligible there. But that, it's not the first time we've been here, in this kind of situation. But, we'll get Deacon Engel back. That's a former state qualifier for us. We'll get James Howard back. That's a former state qualifier for us. We'll get Gavin Hall's been in and out. We should get him back permanently here. Briley's not wrestled yet this year. He's been a multiple-time state qualifier. He's a state placer. We'll get him back. We've lost Tristan Kiker for a little while. He's been in and out, but he's had a broken hand, had to have surgery on it. So we'll lose him for a few weeks here, and then he'll be back towards the end of the season. I think we're going to add Jesse Baswell, who's not wrestled for us before, but has wrestled previously, in youth and stuff like that. And it's just a really solid athlete. So we're hoping to get him up to speed quickly here and have him contribute for us going down the line.
Well, I know you being a football coach, I got to do something with Jesse Baswell, who's been known to play football, basketball, and baseball.
Right.
And he's not playing basketball his senior year, right, and he's wrestling. And we've seen guys that have been like this at other places throughout the years, as they come out their senior year and they go, I should have did that 4 years ago. I should have did that 3 years ago. But he is a freak of an athlete, obviously. But just kind of looking down the stretch, region duels, county, then you get into sectionals. Just kind of looking down the schedule for the rest of the season, kind of size it up for us.
We'll come back from Christmas. I think we've got the schedule's mixed up here. Maybe region that's first now. It's either we've got region. Maybe we'll come back and do region first, and then we've got county, and then then you get back into the maybe the Heflin tournament and all that. But with Jesse, that's the thing I've told him too. He's talked about it. We've kind of recruited him a little through the years and just couldn't quite get him there. And then we finally got him this time. I'm like, man, if we had got you in about the 8th grade, you'd be something. But I still think he can be. I still think he can contribute for us. So that's we need to get him some mat time and get him up to speed as quick as we can. But that's the thing is like I said, we're still going to be missing Tristan for a while here. So we won't be a full complete team until pretty much sectionals. We'll pretty much go into sectionals the first time this year where we are full and complete with everybody that we've got, and that's new. But it is what it is. That's what you get in high school sports. You got to work with what you got, and you're going to have kids sick, kids injured, kids got to miss for this or that or whatever reason. You try to hold it together as much as you can and try to progress as well as you can through the year, regardless of what you got going on. So it is what it is. If we can be a solid team going into sectionals, then that works for us.
So, in terms of seeds that might get messed up, a team that might bust some brackets come sectional time, certainly keep an eye on Ohatchee. Coach, final question. When we come back, we're going to talk with Jackson and Briley. Obviously, you chose those two. That means there are two leaders on your team. Just kind of talk about why you chose those guys.
Those guys are really good leaders for us. And like I said, they're both state qualifiers, both state placers, actually, from last year. Briley finished second at 106 pounds. Briley finished second at 106 pounds. Jackson finished fourth at 120 pounds. And those are two guys that show up to work every day, show up to do their job every day, and they show up to help these other kids along the way, kids that maybe are fresh getting out to wrestle, or guys that are coming up in the 7th grade, maybe that have wrestled in youth, but this is a whole new atmosphere wrestling on a varsity level. But they're coaches on the mat for us, really. We've got me and Coach Lathers, but once you get 20, 22 guys in a room on a wrestling mat at one time, it's tough to see everything and coach everything. And it's really good when you can pair a guy like that with a younger guy and say, hey, teach him along the way. But then also you can pair those two guys together and let them get some really good competitive work, against each other and make each other better too. So I just see those two guys as leaders for us.
Well, Coach, thank you so much. Coach Chris Findley of the Ohatchee Indians. When we come back, we are going to be talking with Briley and Jackson, two Ohatchee wrestlers. So don't go away. You're watching The Locker Room presented by Ted's Floors and Beyond.
Ted's Floors and Beyond is excited to introduce our all-new outdoor living collection. Have you ever dreamed of elevating or even creating an outdoor living space, whether it be for grilling, lounging, playing, entertaining, or just winding down? Our quality tile and stone, combined with our expert craftsmanship, will no doubt create unforgettable outdoor moments with family and friends, while also enhancing the beauty and value of your home. Call us today.
Welcome to Room by Room Home Furnishings, a locally owned and operated furniture store located in Oxford, Alabama. We've been serving Northeast Alabama and the surrounding area since 2007. We offer stylish and affordable new arrivals and all the top trends to help you get a cozy and homey atmosphere with hand-picked home furnishings and decor to fit anybody's style and budget with knowledge, personality, and good vibes. Let Room by Room in Oxford, Alabama help you score amazing deals and turn your house into a home.
Wait! This isn't a game. It's your basement. It's filling with water. And even worse, it's 2 a.m. Who are you going to call? Time's up. We'll come out 24/7, 365, any day, any time to put out any fires. Well, not actual fire. There's a better number for that. But when it comes to plumbing, call One Tom Plumbing.
Welcome back into the Locker Room presented by Ted's Floors and Beyond. We are continuing our edition Christmas-wise of previewing wrestling teams right here in East Alabama. And we are finishing this week with the Ohatchee Indians. We are now joined by two Ohatchee wrestlers. We're joined by Briley and Jackson. And Jackson, your last name is a little bit of a tongue twister, and I'm sure people get it wrong all the time. So I've been saying Jackson Tuolasega, but that is not right.
No. My name is Jackson 2, like the number 2, E, like the letter E, and then Olo Sanga, like you sang a song.
Tuolasega.
There you go.
How about that, Riley? And your name, Carter, that's pretty easy.
Yeah, it's pretty easy.
All right, guys, let's talk about the season up to this point. Briley, you've been battling injury, so you haven't stepped on the mat yet, but anybody that knows you knows you're a state runner-up from a year ago. Jackson, obviously, you're a guy that made it to state last year. You come in, started off really strong, kind of ranked number 1 in a lot of rankings, but rankings don't mean anything, obviously. Started wrestling some other guys, obviously have battled some adversity. Kind of just sum up the season up to this point for you.
Yeah, I haven't had my wrestling partner, so it's been tough. I really did start off the season pretty good, but without my wrestling partner, it's been pretty tough. Briley's been hurt with back injury, so yeah.
Briley, for you, you've kind of had to watch from the side. Just kind of talk about the injury and how you've been fighting through that to get healthy.
Well, I took the first week of wrestling off, hope it'd get better, and it didn't get no better. And I tried to practice for the next week. I think it might have been the next 2 weeks, and then I went to see Neo, and I finally got an MRI, and it was bulging disc. So I been out these 2 weeks, and it's gotten better, and now we're back at it. You guys obviously are getting ready for the second half, but people that have seen Ohatchee, it can be a little naive because you guys have not even been 50% up to this point in the season yet. And I asked Coach, because Coach told me, back months ago, he said, hey, I mean, we feel really good about the two teams we've got this year and next. And then I seen you guys, and I'm thinking, what was Coach talking about? Mm-hmm. Well, the injuries and sickness got you guys literally, and you have not even been 50%. Mm-hmm. So just talk about what this team's capable of when you get all the pieces right there in the puzzle.
Yeah, we've had like 5 or 6 guys out. Ringworm, sickness, injury. So we've missed Briley, James, Howard, Deacon Engel, some lower weight guys. But yeah, when they're all back, it's going to be great.
Briley, you've been a part of this program for a little while. Just talk about getting all the pieces back.
Oh yeah, you name it, we've been hit by it this year. But once we get back 100%, we're gonna make it. We're gonna make a difference and show people who we really are. And yeah.
Guys, you got county coming up. You got region duels. You've got sectionals and state, obviously. Looking down the stretch, trying to get healthy is the biggest thing. Just kind of talk about what you're looking forward to the most.
Yeah, I want to say I'm looking forward to county, region duels, sectionals, and state. But this year, I really want to make it to the finals, win state this year.
Briley, for you, obviously, you're looking to get over the hump. You were runner-up last year. You're looking to get that top spot this year. Just kind of talk about looking down the stretch for you.
That's the main thing I'm focused on, the state, and just getting better every day and getting that ring. And yeah.
Let's talk about Coach Findley. He's obviously the head football coach, but he's also the wrestling coach. Now, his wrestling background's very experienced. That's a joke for everybody out there. He'll be the first to tell you that. He already did earlier. But just kind of talk about what coach is like at practice. You've also got Joe Lathers that helps you guys out. But just talk about those two. What is practice like? Are they intense guys? Are they super laid back and calm? Just kind of what are they like at practice?
There's never a light day at practice. Whenever Coach Lathers isn't here, it's conditioning with Coach Findley. But when Coach Lathers is here, we do a lot of technique and, of course, conditioning. Yeah.
Riley, what about you? Well, you haven't got to wrestle, but obviously you've wrestled for these two the past couple of years.
Oh yeah, there's never a lot day like he said. He couldn't have said it any better.
Is there anybody on this team that it just seems like Coach is always up their grill? Like he is just so much harder on them than anybody else?
I wouldn't say a single person, but like the younger guys, he's definitely pushing harder, especially the guys that really don't show as much heart. But overall, he pushes all of us pretty equally.
Briley, do you think there's anybody on the team that just feels like Coach is always on their back?
Not like just a single person, but mainly the people that don't put in like the work they should be putting in. He's definitely on them a little bit more.
You guys are two-sport athletes. You play football and you wrestle, but did you guys get to do any wrestling this offseason?
I wrestled with a guy named Barron House from Pleasant Valley. I wrestled a little bit here at Ohatchee with some summer practices, but mainly we did football this summer.
Yeah. Briley, what about you?
Same. I didn't get to wrestle much this summer because of football, but did a little bit wrestling here this summer.
Was last year the first year that you guys both made it to Huntsville?
It was my first year. Last year was my second year wrestling. So.
No, I don't think it was. I think I made it the year before that.
You don't remember how many times you've made the state in a row? All right, here's my question. Just talk about what it was like to get to wrestle at state. What was it like to get to wrestle for a state championship? Kind of talk about those two things.
It was exciting. I mean, of course, it's everybody's goal to make it to state, but it's even bigger than that. It's everybody's goal to win state. So with me, Matt King, Briley Carter, and Cody Freer, we all pushed ourselves at state. We didn't pull through as much as we wanted to, but I think we did pretty good.
Briley, for you got to wrestle for a state championship. Obviously, things didn't go the way you wanted. You came up a little short, but just talk about that experience and what you take away from it.
Oh yeah, it's one of them like things where it's in the moment. You're focused on one thing and that one thing only. And it's like I learned a lot of stuff from that. Not to I don't know.
Not to take it for granted.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Last question for both of you. Coach chose you two to do an interview. So I think that when Coach chooses you two, that means that you're leaders on this team. Yes, so talk about what that means to you that Coach would choose you to do this interview.
It means a lot. I mean, it being my second year on this team, it means a lot for me to be able to come in here and be a leader.
Briley, what's it mean to you that Coach chose you?
It feels pretty good knowing that we have people that look up to us and like that we're role models to other people on the team, and yeah.
All right, I said that was the last question, but I got to ask. Now, Coach Findley already answered this earlier, but I'm going to give y'all a chance. You said y'all are practice partners. Who wins?
Right now, him.
Oh, okay. I've got some honesty, so we know Jackson's an honest guy, huh, Briley?
Oh, yeah.
All right, guys, that's it for today. We want to thank you guys for watching The Locker Room presented by Ted's Floors and Beyond.